Hello again, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm all set to count down the 40 most played country songs in the USA as they're compiled by MediaBase 24/7 for the week ending May 9th, 2026. Before I get started with this week's biggest hits, let's take a look back at last week's top three. At number three was The Fall by Cody Johnson. Number two was Sleepless in a Hotel Room by Luke Combs. And the number one song last week was Days Like These, also by Luke Combs. Now, will Luke have one of his two hits top the chart this week? Let's find out 39 hits from now. Well, it's been almost 2.5 years since we last heard Ashley McBryde on the chart, back in September of 2023 when she peaked at number 19 with Light On in the Kitchen. Her latest hit debuts at number 40, called What If We Don't. Slipping back one to number 39 is Russell Dickerson with Worth Your While. At number 38, dropping back one, Hudson Westbrook with Painting You Pretty. Just his fourth week in the countdown, he's up two spots to 37. Chase Matthew with Holding It Down. And holding down the number 36 spot, Stephen Wilson Jr. with Gary. Holding steady at number 35, here's Blake Shelton with Let Him In Anyway. At number 34 again this week, Shane Prophet and Long Live Country. Slipping back one to number 33, it's Kelsey Hart and Fireworks. And here's the week's highest debut, rolling in all the way up at number 32. It's Ella Langley and Morgan Wallen's duet called I Can't Love You Anymore. And with two debuts, we say goodbye to two droppers falling out this week, What He'll Never Have and The Hell You Are. On with the countdown, here's Alexander K, slipping back one to number 31, Straight for the Heart. In his ninth week in the countdown, he climbs 3 notches to number 30, Graylin James with Water at a Wedding. Slipping back one to number 29, Dustin Lynch with Easy to Love. Up 3 spots to number 28, Dan and Shay with Say So. At number 27, up 2 spots, Zach John King with Get to Drinking. Up 1 to number 26, Lauren Elena and Chase Matthew with All My Exes. Holding steady at number 25, John Party with Boots Off. Up 2 spots to number 24, Luke Bryan with Country and She Knows It. Up a notch to number 23, it's John Morgan with Kid Myself. Holding steady at number 22, Zach Top with South of Sanity. Up 2 spots to number 21, Low Cash with Wrong Hearts. In his 12th week in the countdown, they hold for another week at number 20, Hardy and Friends with MacArthur. Up 2 spots to 19, George Burge and Luke Bryan with Ride, Ride, Ride. And holding at number 18 with his ride, here's the Shelby Silverado by Bailey Zimmerman. Slipping back one to number 17, it's Vincent Mason with Wish You Well. Up 3 notches to number 16, Kane Brown with Woman. Up 2 to number 15, it's Morgan Wallen with Don't We. Well, Morgan back to back this week here is his duet with Post Malone and climbs 1 to number 14, called I Ain't Coming Back. At number 13, up a notch, here's Jason Aldean with Don't Tell on Me. At number 12, climbing up 1, Corey Kent and Co Wetzel with Rocky Mountain Low. And the song at number 11, the song that's been on the chart the longest at 41 weeks, still climbing this week up 1, it's Chris Janson with Me and a Beer. Alright, with the first of the 10 biggest hits, here's Megan Maroney holding at number 10 with Beautiful Things. And for a second week here at number 9, Josh Ross and Hate How You Look. Well, last week's number 1 falls to number 8 this week, Luke Combs and Days Like These. Holding steady at number 7, here's Jordan Davis with Turn This Truck Around. At number 6, up 2 spots, Ella Langley and Be Her. Well, Ella has another hit on the countdown. She's at number 5 this week with her former number 1 called Choosing Texas. At number 4, up a notch, here's Riley Green with Change My Mind. At number 3 again this week, here's Cody Johnson in The Fall. The number 2 song this week climbs 2 spots, Tucker Wetmore and Brunette. And the number 1 song in country music this week, taking 15 weeks to get here, and this becomes his 26th number 1 country hit. Luke Combs and Sleepless in a Hotel Room, becoming the first solo artist without vocal collaborations to score number 1 hits in consecutive weeks. Congratulations there, Luke. And that is our countdown of this week's 40 hottest country hits. Join me again next time. Once again, we'll count them down and find out who's got the number 1 song in country music. Thanks for listening.